This is the WP Week podcast, powered by Profile Press, 20i, and WP Job Openings. New updates across WordPress core, plugins, and services landed this week, with experiments and community activity adding to ongoing platform development. Profile Press lets you sell subscriptions, digital downloads, courses, and restrict content with Stripe and PayPal integrations. Looking for better hosting? Upgrade to auto-scaling WordPress hosting from 20i for always on, always fast performance you'll fall in love with. See the difference and get your first month for only $1. And WP Job Openings is the easiest way to set up a professional career page and start accepting applications in just minutes. This week in WordPress moved fast from anniversary headlines to ecosystem pressure points, with legal disputes, security vulnerabilities, market share decline, and accelerating AI adoption all competing for attention. WordPress marked its 23rd anniversary this week, but celebrations were quickly overshadowed as Matt Mullenweg published an emotional blog post on WordPress.org. In the post, Mullenweg sharply criticized WP Engine's legal counsel, Quinn Emanuel Urquhart, referring to him as a Shoggoth from the Cthulhu mythos and accusing him of engaging in what he described as paperclip maximizing legal torture. He also claimed the legal strategy was aimed at dismantling the WordPress Foundation, which he described as a nonprofit with no employees or payroll. It exists primarily to support WordCamps and open-source education initiatives. From there, attention shifted to hosting and platform. SiteGround came under harsh criticism last week, after users discovered that its AI agent plugin had been automatically installed on customer sites, following an automatic update to WordPress 7.0. The plugin reportedly arrived pre-activated as the default AI connector, along with 20,000 free monthly AI tokens, sparking debate around consent, transparency, and control over site configurations. At the same time, broader ecosystem health came into focus as WordPress market share continued its 6-month decline, falling from 43.2% in December 2025 to 41.9% in May 2026. Prashant Balda highlighted the trend on X, where Matt Mullenweg responded by suggesting the platform needs more investment and questioning who could have predicted the situation. On the infrastructure side, WordPress 6.9 compatibility recommendations urged hosting providers to adopt modern stacks, including PHP 8.3 to 8.4, MySQL 8.0 to 8.4, and MariaDB 10.11 to 11.4 for new installations. Development activity within the project continued in parallel. Anne McCarthy is inviting contributors to test new career-related features on WordPress.org. This includes an updated jobs board and enriched user profiles with job history, accomplishments, and an open-to-work option. In core development, WordPress is preparing a major JavaScript upgrade from React 18 to React 19, which will first ship in Gutenberg 23.3 before landing in WordPress 7.1. Meanwhile, a hotfix was released for WordPress 7.0 to resolve a classic editor issue. It affects users who extended the publishing panel with custom action buttons, while a more permanent fix is planned for upcoming releases. Around the same time, Open Horizons scholarship recipients from WordCamp US 2025 were highlighted for their continued contributions across the ecosystem. The WordPress community in Ibarra, Ecuador, celebrated its first in-person meetup after formally forming in late 2025. WooCommerce 10.8.0 arrived with performance improvements, an offline-aware admin warning system, and a new customer review request email feature, alongside several database and API updates. This was quickly followed by WooCommerce 10.8.1, which addressed a WooPayments onboarding regression and a fatal PHP error during upgrades. A beta version of the WooCommerce AI Product Advisor was also introduced to help merchants identify high-potential products and apply improvements with a single click. At the same time, WooCommerce began cleaning up its GitHub issue backlog to improve maintainability and reduce noise in development workflows. Security concerns also escalated as a malware campaign was found affecting nearly 2,000 WordPress sites. It used Steam community profile comments and invisible Unicode characters to hide command and control data and evade detection. In a separate incident, around 15,000 sites were impacted by a WP Maps Pro vulnerability. It allowed unauthenticated attackers to create administrator accounts, although a patch has since been released. The WordFence Intelligence Weekly Report for May 18 to May 24, 2026 also recorded 99 vulnerabilities across 87 plugins and one theme. From security and commerce, the focus moved back to platform governance and ecosystem direction. Automatic joined the Tech Coalition, a global alliance working to combat online child sexual exploitation and abuse through shared research and safety technologies. WordPress.com also rolled out several new features. It includes Write, a distraction-free editor for bloggers, Post-to-Podcast for converting articles into AI-generated audio episodes, and expanded social feeds integration for Blue Sky, Mastodon, and the Fediverse. They also added a new achievement system to track publishing milestones and engagement activity. In the same ecosystem wave, WordPress 7.0 introduced plugin list filter tabs that allow developers to add custom filters, a change that sparked debate over whether it improves plugin management or risks cluttering the interface. Moving on to community happenings, there was a lot going on across the WordPress ecosystem this week. The WP Community Collective launched its State of the Community survey, inviting feedback on AI, sustainability, and the future of open-source participation. WordCamp Europe also opened applications for its 2,028-host city, while ongoing analysis highlighted a decline in attendance from over 2,700 in 2019 to roughly 1,650 to 1,800 expected in 2026 in Krakow. Commentary around the drop pointed to shifts in programming toward AI and security topics, reduced business-focused sessions, and concerns about how accessible events remain for newer users. While others suggested the decline reflects longer-term changes in community engagement and organizer participation. Elsewhere in the ecosystem, ACPT announced a partnership with Softly that separates marketing and business operations from product development, while keeping roadmap control with its founder. Rapid Cloud rebranded as Levamo with no changes to services or infrastructure. Pressable, WordPress VIP, and WP Cloud partners were certified by the Secure Hosting Alliance for meeting security and reliability standards. Plugin and developer tooling also saw updates. Plugin Check 2.0.0 was released with improved compatibility checks. A security release for ACF 6.82 addressing front-end form vulnerabilities is now available. WP Simple Pay 4.17.2 arrived with conditional logic for forms, and Sureforms 2.10 with new form enhancements. Finally, the week wrapped up with a strong wave of experimentation across the WordPress ecosystem, especially around tooling, AI integration, and workflow improvements. That direction is most visible in plugin ecosystem analytics, where WP Rankings V2 is working to restore WordPress plugin growth charts using updated install estimates to better track how plugins are evolving over time. From ecosystem tracking to automation, Angie introduced a super admin mode. This gives it elevated access to WordPress sites, enabling controlled operations like reading files, interacting with plugins, querying databases, and executing PHP. Building on contributor enablement rather than automation, WP Folks launched Folks Academy. This is a structured learning initiative designed to help new contributors enter WordPress through hands-on workshops across core, design, translation, and documentation. On developer tooling, Presship is being developed as a command-line workflow for publishing plugins to WordPress.org, and its creator is actively looking for plugin authors to collaborate with. At the same time, WordPress Playground expanded its historical scope by adding support for WordPress 1.0. I also surfaced unexpectedly in support workflows this week, as a Claude agent submitted a detailed support ticket, prompting discussion around how AI-generated debugging reports compare with human-written ones. Shifting from experimentation to standards, the website specification by Joost de Valk gained attention as a framework defining essential requirements for modern websites. From there, several new and exciting plugins also emerged. Starting with WP StageSync, which focuses on managing staging and production environments with WooCommerce-aware deployment workflows. Sprout OS extended that idea further by introducing a model context protocol layer for WordPress, allowing AI agents to read and modify site content through a standardized interface. Milo subscriptions continued the commercial tooling trend by adding recurring billing for WooCommerce and standalone WordPress sites, along with flexible payment handling through its companion gateway plugin. RankReady shifted attention toward discoverability in AI systems, helping sites optimize for inclusion in tools like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and Google AI Overviews, using structured signals like LLMs.txt and metadata. WP Astro MCP explored headless architecture by connecting WordPress sites to Astro frontends, with support for multi-site setups and GitHub-based publishing workflows. Performance optimization came through Pixelize Image Optimizer, which automatically converts uploaded images into WebP format to improve loading efficiency. On the support side, WP Replay introduced an AI-driven chat system that can respond to users, capture leads, and escalate conversations when needed. WPLIA focused on link intelligence by analyzing internal and external linking structures directly from the database, avoiding the need for external crawlers. Alpaca Issue Tracker brought project management directly into WordPress, giving agencies a built-in way to manage client work without leaving the dashboard. AI PCF enabled integration with Cloudflare Workers AI, connecting WordPress sites to external AI processing workflows. Finally, Underway rounded things out with dashboard tools designed to support the full writing lifecycle, from drafting through to pre-publish optimization. That wraps up this week's Roundup, packed with releases, milestones, new tools, and plenty of movement across the ecosystem. Thanks for listening to the WP Week podcast, sponsored by Profile Press, 20i, and WP Job Openings. We'll catch you next week with more stories from the world of WordPress.